Hey crew, we're doing something different today. How's it going, everybody? Drybox, congrats on the first. Redeem and everybody else, welcome up for coming on in. We're doing something a little bit different. Guys, it's Harumi. You guys know Harumi. She's in the chat. She's in the chat all the time. This is her. Hi.
No, I am never. I was never here. No
Yeah,
one saw me.
do not observe
Not a
me.
single
Oh
soul.
no, we're doing a podcast. I gotta hide. Oh no.
I was never existing in the chat ever.
Well,
Not a single time.
everybody say hello to Harumi. Hi, Harumi. Wow. This
Hello,
is
people.
Harumi, all the way from Hungary. She has invited me to be on her podcast for talking about conventions and the like, but I'll let her talk about that in a second. I just want to say hello to everybody. Yeah, hello, Chillax. What's up, man? Welcome on in. Okay, so what's about to happen is we're about to do a recording. We're about to do a podcast recording. We will likely not be responding to chat unless Harumi opens it up for a Q&A later in about, people's conventions. But I think largely it's going to be just conversation between me and her. Is that right, Harumi?
Maybe at the last 10 minutes, like.
Sure. I'll leave that
I
to you.
believe that will make sense.
This is going to be about half an hour to an hour of a podcast for today. And then we'll get back to
Yeah,
our
we will
normal,
see about that.
and then we'll get to our normal procedure. Okay. Well, let's Harumi, make sure to take a little bit of a pause for the recording, so you then launch into your introduction for your podcast. Okay, let's begin.
So, hi everyone, and let me talk about what this podcast is mainly about. So, the name of the podcast is not in this live's title, but I will tell you what is it. It is ConTroversy. Puts two words together, con and controversy, and you kind of get the idea just by the name what this is about. It is about cons and different opinions, experiences, and their clash together.
Now, to be frank, it's not convict cons; it is convention cons, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So like anything from anime, from gaming to like even cars or anything, literally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything about like one particular like genre or topic or like group of people. Okay, that sounds bad. The group of people part, but
yeah, and you've been going to a lot of conventions. I know you like doing your cosplays and such.
Yes. I was going to con since 2015. I was 13 at my first con, and I am 23 now. So that says a lot.
Yeah, I think my first convention was back when I think my first convention when I was 23 was my first one. So that's as old as you are now.
Yeah.
And then my last one actually was a notable years ago. I think it was back in like 2019, 2018 is my last convention I went to. With the Celt Like Gaming Convention in Utah of the United States. Good times.
So
good times.
I go to this one convention called MondoCon. It is mainly about like Asian stuff, like anime, Asian food, drinks, K-pop, but also sci-fi and gaming.
That's a good mix.
We kind of only have that one convention, or at least this is the biggest one that we have right now, because there are few other ones, but those are more like small gatherings compared to what MondoCon is.
Sure.
As far as I know, around 2019 there was at least 15k person each day. So like I can say that is a medium-sized convention compared to American ones.
You said 15,000 a day?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I've never been a
And there
convention.
is
Well, actually,
like
maybe.
9 million people in Hungary.
Sure,
So
sure. Jeez
so that
Louise.
says a lot, and there might be even more person attending this convention today. So
Sure.
like
That's an intimidating number. That's an extreme amount of people for this
so
introvert.
by
I don't know about you guys.
now
That's a lot.
I mean by now it should be around 20-ish k, I think.
Okay.
It feels like to me.
Man.
Yeah, but even 15k is a lot of people in one place, and there is literally one place in Budapest that can hold that many people in. Because 1 year
Mm-hmm.
we had to held it in another place because of Dune 2,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a disaster, people.
Oh, no.
It was a complete disaster, but
Oh,
I
man.
will talk about this one later on
Yep.
because I had my fair share of problems with that one particular convention.
Well, I'll tell you that I can remember two significant conventions that I've been to. Actually, no, three. Is I've been to what's called PAX, which is a gaming convention. I went to PAX
Yeah, I heard
West.
about the.
I've been to the Salt Lake Gaming Convention, which was a local
Mm,
gaming convention. I've also been to one called the Salt or no Salt called the Fan X, which is a general fandom convention that gets hosted in Salt Lake
mm.
City, Utah. And one of those things is not like the other, and it is the fan one, and that is easily my least favorite kind of type of convention. I don't have any like that's I mean a it's really big, but also unless I'm going to dress up, I don't care about the speakers. I don't care about other people's costumes unless I'm in
Mm.
costume. I'm not going to look to meet anybody because like celebrities are kind of whatever for me at least. For me, that's not it's as core of an important thing for me to go to a convention for. I want to do things. I want to interact with people who are excited about things, not just observe people being excited about things.
Yeah, I mainly go because either I am dressed up in cosplay,
Yeah,
either
cosplay.
B
Yeah.
programs because I attend them because I am interested in stuff, of
Mm-hmm.
course, and either C um, cosplay contest. I like to
Yeah.
watch it.
Okay. Yeah. 100%. And so, what are some of the cosplays you've done and you've brought to conventions before, Harumi?
One was Shiro from Deadman Wonderland, but it was a disaster
Oh no.
because my sewing technique back then was pretty bad.
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
you have that part in the clothes. Wait, let me try to show it. So like this inner part, this
Yeah.
thing in here.
Yeah.
It was outside
Mm.
on
Yeah.
the legs.
Yeah.
On the legs, it was outside, and she has these like that red dot thing on her, like the Target logo.
Mm-hmm.
It does look like that. It was made with gouache, and it was red. And at the end of the day, I could see the that thing on myself, on my own skin.
Okay.
So it
Because
was
it imprinted
already
on your
bad.
back. Sure.
And like even if I had that like a fleet under that material that had that gouache on it, even then I could see it on my own skin. So like it bled through two materials the whole day.
Oof.
And even the wig was bad. Like I couldn't brush it out properly,
Mm. Sure. Sure. Sure.
no matter what I did.
Well, I'll tell you, I've only
Uh,
done one cosplay before. That was for a Salt Lake Game Convention. My friend and I wanted to go and be part of the Super Smash Bros. Tournament, and we
yeah.
also wanted to dress up as the characters we were going to play because that's just fun.
Oh no. I mean, it is
So
fun.
He dressed up as Little Mac, if you're familiar,
Mm,
Little Mac from the classic from Smash Bros. And his classic own games.
mm,
And then I was doing a fashion set inspired by Bowser because Bowser was my main at the
mm.
time. And I went pretty darn high end for that thing. I didn't buy a wig. I didn't have a concept of getting wigs. I just dyed my entire hair
Oh
a bright
no.
cherry red mane, including my eyebrows and my beard. And I looked fierce. Okay, here's the thing though. I'm glad I did this in the order that I did because I got this all my hair done the day of like the day before
Oh,
the thing
even better, yes.
because by that weekend all that red had that bright red had turned to a hot pink. And let me tell you, I have never looked so good in pink in my life. That is not the Bowser outfit I was going for.
Yeah, I can see that why. And like I had
That's it.
several
That's my only cosplay. Only one.
I had several main things. Like those were more like Halloween costumes than actual cosplays.
Yes.
Because like I have had that bard thingy that's like that long stick with an axe head, uh, which was made out of plastic, and if I would had swing it hard enough, I would have broken it into
Hmm.
half.
Yeah.
It was made out of a black wig, a white shirt with some holes on it, fake blood, and a skirt. That was it. So it was
Hmm.
just a cheap Halloween costume.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
You just gotta do what
lately
you gotta
I
do.
had lately I had that pink Tariq skin that I had sent into your Discord server
Yeah, the pink
that I had to
Tarek.
redo that I had to
Yeah.
redo 3 times, and the first time I had to redo it because of that convention place swap that I mentioned earlier.
Hmm.
The second time, people did not really care
Aw,
about my costume and
that's
like
rude.
shouldered me
Sure.
as I walked and like stepped on me and all. So I had to redo it again. And for the third time,
People
oh, and
stepped on you
also,
at the convention.
yep, yep,
Really?
and like I had those shoulder plates, knee plates, and of course, as I walked, where I glued it together, it ripped, kind of, but I just had to glue it back together, and it was fine again.
Hmm.
And at the end of the day, even my jeans were ripped, by the way.
Hmm. Oh man,
So for the
awful.
first time, I had to redo all of it all over again. And now I have my Lucille cosplay that I believe I also sent in again. And and I have my tier cosplay that is in still progress, and I don't want to show my room,
Yeah,
but because
it's
it
coming.
is a war crime.
Yeah,
It is a war crime right
stay in
now.
tune, crew. That's coming soon.
Like within the next few days, I believe. I hope people that it will come in the next few days because it should be finally.
Nice, nice.
And I will enter a contest with that one. So we will see what will I achieve in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, I believe in you. I've been watching your stuff for a while now. You know the different art projects you've been on, the different cosplays you've been on. It's pretty good.
I was in a lot of stuff already.
So, tell me what. I guess I'm just gonna take a little bit of the lead here, if that's okay. Uh,
Yeah, that's fine.
tell me what it's like to be in a convention in Hungary.
Hmm.
I know you kind of want to compare notes, like what is it like in the USA versus what's like in Hungary and such. So,
Yeah. So in Hungary, as far as you know, there is at least 15K people a day. And it is
hmm.
still a small community compared to the USA, as far as I know,
Hmm.
because when I watched the videos on YouTube, there was sometimes mentioned how much people is in there, and there was at least 13k. I'm like 30? No, 30k people.
30K would be, yeah.
Yeah, so like double the amount of people than in a Hungarian convention, and this is our biggest one,
I'm gonna say
as I said.
that one sounds pretty big. When I went to, I think the biggest one
It
I've
is still
ever,
big.
yeah, that's big. I think the largest one I ever went to was the PAX West convention in Seattle, and I that one was spread across like multiple hotels in a region around the main center,
Yeah,
and I remember it having like 3 floors, and it was fairly packed. I know that the main attraction, you know, the big name releases had a huge line going all the way around, but I didn't care about those. I only talked to like indie devs and stuff. So I got to play their games pretty rapidly. I didn't have to wait very long for any of their games.
mm. As for this convention that I attend, we have a literal convention center
Mm-hmm.
in Budapest called Hung Expo.
Mm-hmm.
The name says it all. And it has like around 10 buildings and a lot of parking spots around it.
Okay.
And as for this con, we usually use 3 of those buildings.
Okay.
And
So it's not all just
in
located at one still. It's spread across
it's
a
spread
large
across
yeah,
that one
that's cool.
one space. And imagine it like what is that building called that holds planes in?
A hangar?
Yes, so like
Mm.
it is kind of like that
Sure.
building. Like
Mm-hmm.
it is extremely tall in the inside, and one building is usually used for the artist alley and like
Mm-hmm.
the generally the shopping alley.
Oh
We
man,
have the
tell me more about the artist alley. That's like my favorite thing about conventions is seeing all the artists and talking with them.
so as for the artist alley, you usually get your prints, your actually handmade traditional art paintings.
Cool.
Um, and those kind of stuff are usually about main characters or like
Mm-hmm.
OCs or already existing characters from games, shows,
Mm-hmm.
animes, movies, books, and so on. Pins,
Pins are
and
big.
there
Yep.
are those gothic artist alley places. Um, there is even one person who sells steampunk stuff like hats, goggles,
Yeah.
and so on.
Yeah.
Your usual K-pop merch like shirts and pins. You have those stores that sells those body pillows, those
Oh, of
anime body
course. Of
pillows.
course, you have the body pillows and like the mouse pads,
Uh,
right? With the
yes,
yep.
with the S,
Yep.
and
Perfect for your wrist, nice and snug. those are, the first time I saw
you have
those make me so stinking happy. Like that's so silly.
there is one or two stores that sell those like keychains that has that fabric hanger on it, and I will not recall the name of it, like bell on it also that you
Sure.
can put on your backpack or keychains, candles,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and themed candles, by the way, from
Of
shows,
course.
animes, and so on.
I remember once
Uh,
I got a cologne based on the Demon Slayer characters, and my favorite character from Demon Slayer is oh no, it's been a while, so I'm slipping on his name, and he wasn't even in the last season, but the boar headed guy, Inosuke,
yeah,
Inosuke, yeah,
yeah,
him, man, I saw up in my room someplace. I have a cologne from
yeah.
based on Inosuke, which is very silly to me.
And we have the usual like Japanese food stalls,
Mm-hmm.
like with mochi, poke, and those kind of things. Even the drinks and all. Um, mm, Mostly these are the things that you can get in here in those artist
Mm-hmm.
stars,
I
and
always
of
like
course the gaming
those.
stuff too.
Yeah, the gaming stuff. Yeah, I always like those
Did
because
I
I
set
get to
shirts?
like visit with the artists. Like if especially if it's like a smaller stall and they don't have much of a line, I'd be like, "Oh, I really like this piece. I like what you're doing with this." And like, they'll tell me some of the history and some of why they like their pieces, and I love those conversations.
Mhm. And now that we are at the artist study stuff, I
Yeah.
had my pink Tariq and I went out with it in the spring Mondocon.
Hmm.
And I met that artist study person, and she was like, as I was standing in front of her, she was like, "That's a pink Tariq," and she was so happy about that
Yeah,
someone was pink Tariq, and it was
that's
just
awesome.
such a nice experience for me too, that
Oh
someone was
man.
not just wanting a picture of me but was genuinely happy that they saw a pink Tariq.
Hmm.
And to be honest, a lots of people do gay jokes about Tariq, especially that skin.
Okay,
And
well, he doesn't
when
stray away
I
from
mean,
those jokes.
he couldn't stay away from those jokes,
No.
especially this pink skin, and
Hmm.
especially if you look at that splash art. He
Yeah.
cannot stay away from that. That's for sure. That's
Yeah,
one
I
thing. But
remember when they did
yeah,
the remake of his skins, like somebody did a comparison of like how like the sexier the character was, the deeper the V of his cut went all the way down
and that is
in his
Tariq.
outfit. Yeah. And I think the
And
pink
for
Tark
Tariq
has
at
like
first,
nothing. Yeah, it's just all the way down to the waist.
yeah,
Just
that's
psh,
Tariq. I mean, you cannot tell me that he is not handsome.
absolutely not. He's
You cannot
fabulous.
tell me that he is not.
He's prim.
And especially with the gems.
Although my boy Bard, that's my guy. If I could do a Bard cosplay, I would be over the moon. That just seems like a little bit lot of a thing to do, but that would be awesome.
I mean,
One of my dream
I
cosplays.
will. This year, I technically almost. No, I just cosplayed dudes all year
Sure,
long, technically,
sure,
this
yeah.
by this time.
Mm,
And people can ask when will I be a female. I will be on the second day of this
mm,
fall convention,
mm,
just to calm everyone down. Um, where was I? So in that building, we have the big stage,
mm,
a smaller stage for games like League of Legends, Hearthstone, games like that. The current popular ones also have the regular sellers merch like the mangas, the snacks, the drinks.
mm.
So like the more common stuff. Uh, oh, I forgot to say that at the Artist Alley part you can buy accessories for your next cosplays like elf ears and
Classic.
stuff like
And
that.
staves and wands and cloaks and crowns
And
and
like,
tiaras and
yeah, and kind of want to tease another cosplay that I want to do next year. That is also a dude. What else?
mm.
Uh, it is from my favorite game, and not much people know it, but the people who knows it.
Yeah, what is it?
Heroes of Might and Magic 5.
Might and Magic
Most people know
5.
the free,
Yeah, I was gonna say I played 3. I haven't played 5, I don't think.
and from that, the elf hiking. Because
Okay. Cool.
what normal woman being doesn't have on Elf King problem or
Absolutely.
on Elf problem.
And do that later this year, is that what you're saying?
Next year.
Next year. Okay. Very cool.
It is planned to be one of the first one of 2025.
Gotcha.
Or at least I plan on. Because I had enough of leather for this year. With just one that cosplay, and I still have one other cosplay plan for this year that has leather in. I will have problems by the end of this year. And that's okay. Cosplayer problems.
Cosplayer
Don't mind me.
problems. You didn't choose the cosplayer
Yeah.
life, the cosplayer life chose you, right?
Yeah. And also the artist life.
Mm-hmm.
It is not fun and games all the time.
Sure.
It is all about the suffering.
The suffering.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we got about 10 minutes left. Let's. What's left in the docket there, Harumi?
So, for the next kind of part, I was thinking about the bad and the good stuff. So, like the highly good and the highly bad stuff that's going on. Like, also be nice people for the good part, and like for the bad part, the stalkers, the I will not say the word, but it starts with the PEDO letters.
Of course.
Um,
Yeah. There's always gonna be some
and
kind of
like the
scumbags haunting
everything,
around stuff
yeah,
with people, especially if they're
because
interested in the same thing.
you do not have the con experience without those people, sadly, especially the younger people.
It's sad to have me hear it every time.
Yeah, and
Like,
especially as a woman, it's bad.
especially so. Does it? Yeah, that's not just for young women either. It's for anybody, any female presenting
Yeah,
person,
even as an
and
adult.
that even goes for guys in female cosplay. You know what I mean? As they'll get
Yes,
harassment
yes, it goes
in the
for
same
them
sphere.
too. Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
okay. Um,
So I will start with this one, I
mhm.
think.
Yeah, go.
As for me, the good part is that shopkeeper that I mentioned. And let me think for 1 second.
Shopkeeper. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. What are you thinking of that? We'll do a little drink break with our matching purple
So
bottles.
the shopkeeper, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so for one, I had that shopkeeper, and for second, I had this person, when I was walking around,
Mm-hmm.
and randomly gave me a Pocky out of nowhere just because I was nice.
Okay.
Um, I am trying to think of extremely nice people, but I did not have that many. Just generally good people around.
Oh, so you've had
I
mostly
think,
bad experiences at conventions then with people?
yeah, sadly, yes.
Oh, I'm
Sadly,
sorry.
yes. Mm.
Hmm.
One was that person that was infamous for. So imagine a dude,
A dude.
um,
Okay.
a chubby guy who dressed up as a Nekomaid, and his stomach was out, and
Okay. Great.
we could see his like stomach hair also,
Mm-hmm.
and he just creepily stood on a bench thingy, and supposedly he was harassing women, like following them, touching them, And the list
Nope.
goes on. And he was
Cut their fingers off.
and
Like, not
he
to bring up
was
too much violence on the internet,
luckily,
but that's
yeah,
not good. But
and the staff luckily couldn't ban him out of his illness.
oh, jeez. Smokes, I came into this with like, oh yeah, my
And
worst story is I had to stand in a line for an hour for something I didn't care about.
he,
That's it.
after a while, was not attending this convention
Uh-huh.
for our luck. And I was like 14 when I saw him, by the way.
Oh.
So imagine a 40-year-old girl seeing that dude.
Hey, I'm sorry. I don't know what to say.
And
Like, this is your story and experience, and it's just a sad one.
and there are those people who, so like we have this kind of culture about free hugs. What that means is you have this piece of paper or something that says free hugs.
Sure.
Someone can go up to you and give you a hug. That's it.
Sure.
And there are those people who will just pick you up unasked without a permission and spin you around or just get you up and stuff. There are those people. And I had that friend back then who had a piece of paper like that. And there was this 190 centimeters tall, like well-built person who just picked her up. And what would she be able to do? Nothing. Just telling him to put me down.
Yeah, it's good to understand where your sacred boundaries are, especially when touching a
Yeah,
person, especially if they're in cosplay. Is usually it is no
especially a
touch
stranger.
unless you ask, and when you ask, you keep within your bounds, sir or madam. Fair enough. Um, because it is very easy to cross the line when it comes to what other people are comfortable with. A
Yeah.
hug,
And
be thinking gentle. If there's nothing else from this conversation,
yeah,
Hiromi, I just want to send out a message to the world just saying, be gentle with other people, especially if you don't know
yeah.
them. Like, people are there for
Especially someone in
joy.
cosplay or like a
Yes.
just
You don't know what it takes to
especially
build the
women and
cosplay.
little girls.
Yes. You don't know what it takes to build a cosplay. You don't know what it takes for them to be brave enough to like step into the sphere like that. And you
Yeah.
just be gentle. Be absolutely careful when encountering new people, especially a bunch of nerds. We nerds are tender folk.
Yeah.
All of us.
And especially as a woman, it is even more scary when a man picks you up without permission. And
Mm-hmm.
like especially when they spin you around. And there are those people who has like knee problems, for example. What about them?
So I gotta, yeah, okay. Is there, I don't know if I have much bandwidth for more, more bring down talk, but I want to ask you, kind of wrap this up. Um, if
Mhm.
conventions are kind of always a bad experience for you, why do you keep going to them?
These kind of things are more spread across. Like one thing happens in the span of 3 cons. Like one time for like it is mostly like 1 minute out of that
Oh,
one convention for me. So
okay.
like
It's not an always thing. It's just it's a regular enough thing.
yeah, regular enough,
Regular enough to be
especially
noted
the
for
free
sure.
hug.
Yes.
Yeah, way too regular. Like, and even I could hear other people say these kind of stuff back, especially women,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of makes me sad. But to answer your question, actually, why do I still keep going? For one, this is technically the only place where I can show off my new costume.
Sure.
And for two, this is one of, if not the only place where I can meet those specific people who lives way too far away from me. And three, it is the easiest way to meet people who is into the same stuff as me.
Mm-hmm. Besides, like online stuff, that's not the same kind of meeting people. Not like we're talking like you and
Yes.
me. Yeah.
And you can even waiting in line and just sit down or like still stand in line and just talk to the person in front of you about anything. When can you do this in real life? Never.
Mm-hmm.
You will be never able to do that. But at a place like that, you already have a talking point, that convention and its theme.
Mm-hmm. And beautiful people are being brought together for a beautiful, beautiful, very, very
Yes,
nerdy cause. That's
yes.
a great thing. Okay. Um, we're about out of time, Harumi. Anything else you wanted to cover before we wrap up for today?
Hmm. One thing
At
for
least with
sure
me on
that,
camera, because obviously this is an ongoing podcast that you're going to be holding, so you have a lot of these conversations, right?
yeah, and I will have the outro later on.
Sure.
I will do it for myself later, another day.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, One thing is that, as far as I myself know or heard, that the experience of a man and woman will always be different, and not just at cons,
Mm-hmm.
but overall in life. But at cons, you can especially see it at its maximum level. And one thing for sure, it will be always interesting to see the experiences of a man and a woman, especially if it's about like the same topic, even if it's in another country, another convention in our case. But there will be always those overlays that can meet each other.
Mm.
And for me, this will be always interesting, and I really do hope that later on I can bring on other people too to my
Mm-hmm.
podcast and see this kind of stuff, like how is it compared to each other as two women and women
Mm-hmm.
to a man at convention, especially if we can see the cultural differences
Mm-hmm.
between the two. So yeah, that's kind of what I thought of wrapping this up. I don't know if you want to say something more to it.
No, just thanks for the invite for having me help you trial run this podcast idea. It definitely got me thinking about conventions, which I haven't thought about for a long time. So, yeah, thanks for pulling me in, Harumi.
And I will definitely tell the end results of that competition after
Yeah.
it happens. For sure, on the 13th of this month,
Okay.
I will
Sure.
know the results of it.
Okay. Well, Harumi, thank you for the opportunity, and yeah, we'll look forward to that. If nothing else in the Discord.
And thank you for participating, because it is always nice to have a guest in
Yeah.
stuff like that, and not just talking to myself into the camera for
Oh,
I don't know how long.
you're very welcome.